Well, I guess this may be one of those days when we find out who the true market junkies are, because you're watching this and I'm recording this on a 4th of July weekend. Um, and so far, I know that Kevin and Market Monkey and myself are among those in that category. Um, Keep in mind, one of the reasons I'm doing this is because the whole world likes to flock to Cape Cod on the 4th of July weekend every year, and that's exactly what it's like right now. There is literally an 8-mile backup to get over the bridges, and for those that were here last week for the cookout, this is why we did it last week and not this week, among other reasons, of course. And speaking of which, you can see the empty plate behind me. I've again dug into the cake that we had last week for the cookout, and I certainly wanted again to thank everybody who came for that. It was, as I mentioned in the blog post, an amazing experience. Not to mention the trip to the hospital, of course, but in all seriousness, it was something that I've never experienced before in terms of a couple of dozen traders and their spouses coming and it was someone had mentioned after the event that she felt it was like family. She felt like she was leaving family, and that's really the way that I feel as well. And maybe it was particularly true because we had several spouses of traders here, and spouses of traders can be or are a rare breed. They provide, I know at my end, a support structure that I would not be able to do without. There's not a whole lot of people that they can relate to, and what we found here was that the spouses kind of came together and could relate to one another, and talked a little bit about certainly having a spouse that traded, having kids, typical kid problems that we always have, messy rooms, that kind of thing. And so just a special a note of thanks to Deb and Ruth Ellen and Cindy and Grace for coming and really becoming part of our family, at least for one weekend. We definitely want to keep the contacts going. Again, just a great experience for us, and I hope for you as well. So I look forward to really keeping those lines open as we move forward. Um, a couple of things I'll ramble on, I guess, today. It's really continuing to be a time of reflection for me. Obviously, the last week or so of posts, you can probably get at where I'm at in my trading year, where I'm at in my trading life. Um, Frankly, at the ripe old age of 48, which I know is still pretty young, I've got some decisions to make, and I really mean what I said the other day in terms of feeling that there is something incredible that is brewing. I'm not doing that to hype anything. I'm not saying that to hype anything. It's just the way that I feel. I've always loved breaking new ground. I've always loved doing things that haven't been done. I've loved doing things that people say can't be done, and we'll see where that goes in terms of both my own trading, as well as maybe something beyond that to some extent. So my question is about whether the world's ready for a new breed of turtles. Um, who knows? I've got some thinking to do, and I'm using this time to do that. The chart, of course, as Kevin and Market Monkey accurately guessed, it's not a big surprise that I posted today, is roughly my equity chart, my equity curve since the beginning actually of '08, which is the last time that I began a very serious run. And um, it's actually it's an Excel chart. It's a database dump right out of my financial software, so it's pretty accurate. The only thing it's not showing in there is expenses because it's a different account and I didn't add that in. But pretty much if you just lowered the whole thing just a little bit, the curve, the slope, and all that's still the same thing. And if you look at the chip growth tally on the lower left margin, you'll see that the expenses relative to what you see there are real small. But for the most part, that's and I say expenses, overheads, trading leases, quote feeds, that kind of thing. So it's real small in comparison to what you see there. And yeah, I'm pretty much. I guess the point of that is showing myself and maybe others that I'm at a point of consolidation. Um, It's been a few years for me, and certainly I've pointed out all the reasons why I think, and I'm not going to belabor the point in terms of May and June, but it's certainly allowing me to take a step back. I've always mentioned in the past, and I'm not the only one that says this or came up with it, but trading income or losses do really one thing, and that's buy or expend time. I'm in a position right now where I was fortunate to buy a whole lot of time last year, and now I'm in a situation where I've got to decide how to use that time, how to be productive. From a trading perspective, over the last couple of months, I've not been using that time productively. Life has gotten in the way, and I'm looking at the chart on my other monitor here. I've got to make some decisions. How to use this consolidation period in order to prepare for the next leg. And I obviously firmly believe that there will be a next leg, because there will. But a bit of consolidation. I guess if you were to overlay a stochastic on that chart, which actually I started to try to do, but apparently if you try to do that sort of thing within Excel, unless you guys know of a free indicator out there, free formulas, there are formula packages you have to buy, and I didn't feel like spending the money. But I almost actually put a stochastic curve on it, and an ADX curve, and a few other things, and that would have really gotten some people guessing. But without that, it looks pretty obvious what it is. Anyway, if you were to look at a stochastic or MACD or some oscillator, you'd probably see that it's oversold right now. And if this were a chart, it would be one of my favorite setups, which I often called oversold on support, where the oscillator turns down, but price holds. Price doesn't necessarily climb, but it's holding, usually a sign for the next leg up, and that's exactly what this chart looks like. That's, again, a daily equity curve chart going back to the beginning of '08. The moving average, by the way, is a 30-day moving average. I'm pretty sure it's 30-day. It's either 30 or 50. It may be 50. I think it is 50. I'll confirm that in the text before I upload this. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I feel some great things are happening, and again, I've got to figure out how to use this time. What else do I want to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Sometimes I wish this were two. I am rethinking opening up the Pal Talk Lounge, at least on a small scale. I really again look at not to belabor this cookout that we had last week, but something interesting happens when you have a small group of people, relatively small group of people. And I mean we had 20, 25 people I think here, all kind of coming together on faith that A, this cookout was really going to happen, B, that I was real, and C, just something driving them here, flying them here, and that's something I want to continue to build on. Again, I know I'm rambling here, but it's again something that I've never seen before. I've never experienced it before, I'd like to take that somewhere. I'd really like to take that somewhere. The blog's going to continue. If anything, I'd like to ramp things up a little bit. I'm working on getting the chart plotting program working right, so that we can do some things there. Make this a little bit more interactive. I still am a trader, and I will always remain a trader, and that's not going to change. I'm looking at some other areas of my life in terms of, again, most other people know I do have another business that pays the bills. I'm very open in terms of talking about that, and something I certainly recommend people that are pursuing this business to try to get, because all this becomes bankable. All this becomes, I don't want to say stress-free, but certainly much less stressful. But I'm looking at that as well, and trying to make some decisions in terms of maybe I'll let that go, and allow me more focus and time to ramp up not only my own trading, but where the other efforts might go as well. So just some thoughts right now. I'll keep you posted. I'll make a couple other posts over the weekend, but just wanted to say hi, and I'm excited about the future. I really am. All that stuff that I've written over the past week or so, it's not BS. It's really how I feel. And we'll keep you posted. Have a great 4th of July weekend, everybody. Again, those that came last week, thank you very much. You are indeed part of our family now, and I look forward to seeing you again. So take care.